All right, today we're making up a batch of Instant Pot applesauce. Applesauce is one of my favorite things to make in the Instant Pot because it just is quick and easy. I don't have to worry about things boiling over on the stove. My mom loves it for dessert. I love it for a snack, but whatever you like, you can customize it to exactly your preferences. So I'm Jen from Pressure Cooking Today. Let's get started. So as you see, we've got a big old pot full of apples. I've already peeled and cut most of them. I used one of the apple tools. Let me show you how that one works. Okay, so just to show you real quick with this apple tool, you just give it a spin, and it's really fun to play with. It just goes around, and it cores and slices and peels your apple at the same time. There you go. And then I usually just keep going just to get it through to the core. And then you pop it out. Look, my kids really love it. When we do it like this, they like to eat and then they'll pull them apart. So, and then the apple part just slides off. You wiggle your core off. Come on, buddy. And toss it. And so you kind of got it all in one. Or if you don't have an apple cutter tool, you can just use your regular peeler and a knife. I like to cut them into little pieces. Some of them are a little bit bigger little pieces. Put those right on top. And then when you choose apples for your applesauce, I like to choose a mix of apples. That way, you know, if the apples at your store or in the orchard were a little bit too tart for your taste or a little bit too sweet for your taste, your whole batch isn't going to be affected by that. So we generally will use a mix of tart, like a Granny Smith, and then sweets like we've got Envy and Gala apples. My kids call the Envy apples jealous apples. They're our favorite snacking apple. We have it on hand almost all the time. And the one apple we don't recommend using for applesauce is the Red Delicious apples. We find we get kind of a grainier texture applesauce. It's not our favorite, but just go to the store, choose several different apples from the different piles, or just 5 from each, whatever. Just 10 apples, peel them, quartered and cut, and then we can choose, usually if I have it on hand, I'll use apple juice. If I don't, I'll use water and a little bit of sugar. If you want to use apple juice and sugar, go for it. Just water. It's completely customized to your tastes. So sometimes I'll use cinnamon, sometimes I'll use pumpkin pie spice, but this is the time you want to add those spices to your applesauce right before you cook. So it's okay to just sprinkle it on top. If you want, you can choose to mix it, but it'll all get mixed in there anyways. You'll notice I only used a 1/4 cup of apple juice. The apples are going to release a lot of liquid, so if you used a full 1 cup of apple juice, you're going to have really watery applesauce. We found that 1/4 cup is all we need for our applesauce to turn out just the way we like it. So that's everything. We've got it all in the pot. We're going to lock the lid in place. And we're going to set a cook time of 4 minutes. The applesauce can foam. So if you're cooking, you can make like a 1.5 batch or a double batch in an 8-quart. But if you're going to do that, you'll need to leave a longer pressure release time, just because they can foam. So that 10-minute release is really for the foam to come down as it starts to cool, so it doesn't come spurting out your pressure release valve. So we'll see in a bit. So if you release the pressure and you start seeing applesauce come out, you can kind of hear the difference, but especially if you start seeing applesauce come out, you quick slide it closed again. And then you wait 30 seconds to a minute, and then you open it back up. And if you hear that coming out again, did you hear the difference, the change? Close it back up and then just wait a little longer. And just repeat that process as many times as you need until the float valve drops. And if you want, you can absolutely use a natural pressure release on your applesauce. It just won't have quite as much, you won't be able to get it chunky. It'll just be really smooth, kind of fall apart apples. So if that's how you love your applesauce, just, set it, forget it, walk away. If you like a little bit of chunky where it holds its texture just a little bit, that's why we use the 10-minute with the intermittent pressure release. Okay, the float valve dropped. All right, so when that float valve drops inside, the display will change to ready, and you'll hear that little ding-ling. Okay, unlock the lid, get a little shake, and if you want, you can just fit it right into those lid fins. All right, so you can see the apples have just cooked and broken down really nicely. As I turn it over, you can see they still got a little bit of form, but they've super tender, super yummy. So we'll get that mixed with a spoon. Now, at this point, you can choose what works best for you. If you like a chunkier applesauce, you know, a potato masher might just be enough, or even just a spoon. Sometimes I like it that way just to make it a little different than we're used to. But if you like a smoother applesauce, that's where your immersion blender comes in. So this is just a KitchenAid immersion blender. I absolutely adore it. There's other brands out there too that do a great job. I always get a little nervous when I'm doing this that I'm gonna like Swedish chef everything around, but you just make sure that you've got it right on the bottom. Since this is a stainless steel pot, I don't have to worry about scratching up any like non-stick coating that are on some pressure cooker models. So just put it in and then give it a push. Go a little lower. Pretty smooth. Looks pretty good. So give that a nice stir just to make sure. I didn't go all the way smooth. I just wanted to show you, but it's this nice, really liquidy texture. It's got a little bit of liquid on the top, and as it cools, that liquid will kind of go away, so you'll be able to incorporate it into the applesauce. It doesn't thicken like you would see like with a cornstarch thickener, but it does get smooth. It smells so good in here. Okay, so, oh, look at this. So you can see this applesauce will really show you why this silver valve protector is so important. Oh, it's still hot. I can't pull it off because it's too hot, but you can see the apples are all around there. The apples foamed up enough that they went right up there, but because that protector was in place, it kept the float valve clear so that the pressure could continue releasing. But this is definitely one you'll want to wash it off and then pull it off and clean out underneath it, because there's just little tiny lines on the side where a little bit can get through, and you'll want to make sure that that's nice and clean for next time you use it. So we'll dish it up. All right, so we'll just get a scoop. It's pretty hot right now. There we go. Oh, it's yummy. It smells so good. Okay, we'll put that right there. And if you want at this point, when you're dishing it up for yourself, you can add additional cinnamon, however you like it, but it's super yummy. If you have any questions, comments, if you make this, let us know in the comments how it goes. And we will see you again soon with a new recipe video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.